Before we dive in, please forgive me because my voice is gonna sound really like unenthusiastic and quieter than normal. I'm in a different place recording. I gotta, be a little bit calmer than I normally am, even though this video is so exciting. I'm actually so fucking excited to talk and share this with you guys because this is actually kind of crazy. About a week ago, I asked you guys which artist I should make a video on next, and it turns out that the highest voted comment was Intak of P1Harmony. And if you guys know my channel, I talk about P1Harmony quite a bit. I really love them as a group. And especially Jongsup, he's probably my bias, and I talk about him all the time. But I don't really ever make videos on Intak himself, and that's changing today because Intak on the latest P1Harmony album released probably one of the best flows in the entire, not even the album, not even P1Harmony, but just this year in K-pop. It's a crazy flow. I'm gonna show it to you guys on screen right here. If you want to hear the full thing overlaid with the actual verse, I have a link for that in the pinned comment and description, and you can go check that out just so I avoid copyright. But go listen to that and come back here so you know what I am talking about if you haven't heard it or if you're curious what this sounds like. But let me explain what you're looking at before we dive into why this is so cool. Basically, on this bottom part you have the flow. The flow is the rhythm that comes from the rapper's voice, right? It is the every syllable that the rapper speaks, spits, raps, whatever you want to call it. That's what the bottom is. That is the actual flow. The top part is the cadence. That's the feel of it. It's the sub flow, if you will, the part that you feel when you're listening to it. That more simple, like part that you like nod your head to, like yeah, the part that hits, if that makes sense. So, with that being said, let's dive into why this is so fucking cool and why this is one of the best flows that I have made a breakdown on. So this is 8 bars of rapping, right? And there is something cool for each bar. Let's start off with bar 1 because there's something cool in every single bar and I am literally freaking out. He starts off on the 3rd beat of a sextuplet. What? No, I mean, it's hard enough to like start on like the E of a 16th note. So instead of like a 1 when most rappers would start, or the and he starts off on the 3rd sextuplet. Oh my god, that's actually so insane to make sure you hit on time every time. That alone is so crazy. Just from the first note, it is such a rare occurrence to start on the 3rd beat of a sextuplet. Why does he do that? Because another member does the downbeat, but it's not him, so I can't count that into the flow. In this second part of this first measure, I also just want to mention, he really has this like shuffle feel. Now, if you watch my Soyeon Dark X-File breakdown, that was basically all I talked about in that. Go check out that video after this if you haven't, but yeah, he does this shuffle feel. But since the rest of the verse is in normal 16ths, I can't just show it as a shuffle. So instead, you gotta write it with sextuplets, and that's what he did. He did 8th note, triplets, and sextuplets. Crazy. Let's move into bar 2 because this is something I don't see that happens too often in K-pop because normally K-pop raps are too short to do cool stuff like this, and this is foreshadowing a flow that happens later. Now you guys know like rhyming and stuff, like you like would rhyme like the word door 3 bars later, rhyme it with floor. Right? Like that, like rhyming, like you prelude something and sometimes you could come back to it much later instead of doing it right after. That's what he does here with the flow. This flow is like a dotted 8th note cadence with a slight 8th note cadence next to it over top of a 16th to 8th note flow. It's not the exact same flow, but it's the same feel, and he foreshadows it here and then comes back to it at the last bar. Which is crazy. Like that first bar, the second bar right here we're talking about, and this 8th bar is the same feel if you listen to the song. Moving on to bar 3 now, because there's so much to talk about here, I gotta keep moving. He uses space. He has an entire quarter note just cut out where he just does the quarter note and then nothing else. And he just leaves so much space in here, but still keeps a flow where it's not just boring. He's not just ending a rhyme there. He's actually building on that with the end of bar 2, transitioning into what he's about to do in bars 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, let's move into this is so freaking cool. The best part of this rap measures 4 and half of 5 and also half of 3. These next like circled part right here. Holy shit. Guys, this is literally the definition of rapping off beat. Now, he's not rapping off beat, he is doing an offbeat flow. Basically, he is on beat. He is just hitting every single note that is offbeat, right? Which is kind of crazy. Like at the end of the day, you're supposed, like not supposed to, but most rappers, by most I mean like 99%, want to hit that downbeat to pull the rap back together. And for about maybe 6 or 7 quarter notes here, about a measure and a half, nearly 2 measures, he is consistently skipping the downbeat, which is why it's offbeat, because he's being on beat by purposefully being offbeat. It's so weird. Like he's on beat by not rapping on that downbeat because he's trying to not rap on the downbeat. So his flow is just E end up, E end up, E end up, E end up. And he's letting that like feel, that part that you would like bounce your head to, keep him on beat. By not rapping on beat there, he is essentially staying on beat by doing an offbeat flow. It's so cool. He's purposefully rapping off beat, which makes him on beat. And I just say that because everyone calls off beat by missing the downbeat, which is what he's doing, but he's purposefully missing the downbeat, but hitting all of the other beats that are off beat. Okay, I'm gonna move on though, because we still have more to talk about too. Oh my God. In this fifth bar here, about halfway through, he transitions back on beat, and he doesn't just like cut it, right? He continues to do the same flow, but instead of continuing to cadence, this is where cadence becomes important. Instead of, you know, hitting the he hits the fourth, E end of 4, and that gets him back on beat. E end of 4, E end of 1. And he gets back on beat. Then we move into bar 6, where he finishes this rap off in bars 6 and 7, completely contradicting what he just did. Like, because he's doing this very offbeat, like, ooh, type of flow. And then literally right after that, he contradicts himself and does a driving flow. Da, 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 da. Oh my God. He just contradicts himself in the last 3 bars with a driving flow, which is crazy. And then finally, in this 4th bar, he does a dotted 8th note ending, which was foreshadowed in bar 2. Just bring this all together. This is the most complete flow, maybe outside of Dark X-File, that we have seen this year, in my opinion. It's crazy how impressive this is to me. Or at least people who know rhythm. I don't know, maybe I'm freaking out about this and it's not that cool, but I mean, hey, I haven't seen this in K-pop flows yet from what I've broken down, and it sounds cool, it works well. I hope you guys think it's as cool as I do, because I am kind of fanboying over this. And you know, yo, Intak, he's up there for me now. I didn't even realize this was me. I knew this was a good rap, I just never looked into fucking hell. This is so cool. I hope you guys go and spread the word around, get Intak's name out there among rap fans and K-pop, because man, Mirror's rap is just crazy. This flow is crazy, guys.